Imagine being just 14 years old, still a child, barely old enough to understand the world around you, and being told that your destiny was already decided. No freedom, no choice, no say in your future. Now imagine that the person chosen for you to marry wasn't some young prince your age, but your own uncle, twice your age and a man you barely knew. This isn't fiction. This is the tragic, real story of Anna of Austria, a girl born into the glittering yet suffocating world of European royalty, whose life was controlled by politics, power, and family obsession with bloodlines. Anna of Austria was born in 1549 in Valladolid, Spain. Her parents, Maximilian II, Holy Roman Emperor, and Maria of Spain, were powerful figures who ruled over vast lands. From the moment she was born, Anna's life was mapped out like a chessboard. In royal courts, daughters were not seen as children but as pawns, political pieces to be moved, exchanged, and sacrificed for the sake of alliances. Unlike most girls her age, Anna's childhood wasn't filled with games or dreams. Instead, her education focused on preparing her to be obedient, pious, and worthy of a crown. She was taught courtly manners, religious devotion, and the idea that her body and her future belonged not to herself, but to her family and to politics. When Anna was just 11, whispers of her marriage began to circulate. Europe at the time was deeply divided by religion and power struggles. Spain and Austria were ruled by the powerful Habsburg dynasty, and this family was notorious for marrying within itself. Cousins, nieces, nephews, even uncles and nieces. Why? Because they believed keeping the bloodline pure was more important than health, happiness, or morality. By the time she was 14, Anna's fate was sealed. She was told she would marry King Philip II of Spain. But there was one disturbing detail. Philip was not only her king, he was her uncle. He was 22 years older than her. For Anna, the idea of marriage wasn't about love, it was about duty. At 14, she had no choice. She was handed over to a man old enough to be her father, and she stepped into a marriage that symbolized the crushing weight of dynastic ambition. Philip II was already infamous across Europe. He was strict, cold, and deeply religious. By the time he married Anna, she was his fourth wife. Imagine that. This man had buried 3 wives before her, and yet at only 14, Anna was told she must take her place beside him. Their marriage was political theater, a way to unite Spain and Austria against enemies. To the world, it was a triumph, but to Anna, it was a lifetime sentence. Still a teenager, she was suddenly Queen of Spain, expected to produce heirs, maintain dignity, and please a husband who was essentially her guardian. And she did. Anna fulfilled her duty to the dynasty. She gave birth to several children, though not all survived. Among them was Philip III of Spain, the future king. History often praises her for securing the line of succession, but behind that achievement lies an untold story of suffering. Think about the reality: a 14-year-old girl enduring pregnancy after pregnancy, with her body breaking down from the demands of childbirth. At an age when most girls today would just be starting school dances or writing in their journals, Anna was living in a palace, performing the role of a queen and a mother, under the watchful eye of a much older, controlling husband. What makes Anna's story even more tragic is the human cost of the Habsburg obsession with family marriage. Generations of intermarriage led to genetic disorders, miscarriages, and weakness in the bloodline. The most infamous result was Charles II of Spain, Anna's own grandson, known as the Bewitched. He was born sickly, deformed, and mentally unstable, the ultimate symbol of how destructive the family's obsession with blood purity truly was. But Anna never saw this legacy play out. Her life ended tragically early. After years of pregnancies, physical strain, and the heavy burden of being queen, she died in 1580 at just 30 years old. 30. Barely halfway through what could have been a normal life, and yet she had already endured more than most people ever would. To this day, Anna of Austria is remembered less for her individuality and more for her role as a mother of kings and a pawn of dynasty. But when we strip away the titles, the crowns, and the grand portraits, what we see is heartbreaking. A girl robbed of her childhood, forced into marriage with her uncle, and used as a tool for power. Her story is a haunting reminder that behind every royal jewel and every golden crown, there were real people, many of them women, who suffered silently for the sake of family pride and politics. Anna's life shows us that power often comes at the cost of humanity, and that sometimes the most tragic lives are hidden in plain sight, beneath the glittering surface of history. If you found Anna of Austria's story as shocking and heartbreaking as I did, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more untold stories from history, and share it with someone who thinks royalty lived fairy tale lives. Because the truth is often far darker than the legend.